Hello, I am Todd Coleman, creative director of Crowfall.
And I'm Thomas Blair, lead designer.
And we are here for another edition of the Art Craft Entertainment Ace Q&A.
Whoo, that thing flew up there.
Ace Q&A for July. So we didn't actually have a lot of questions come in, I think probably because we did the live stream for 12 hours 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And that kind of drained everybody of questions. So instead we thought we would spend this Q&A session just giving you guys an update on what's going on.
And the team is working really hard on all kinds of things.
They are. So Blair, what do we have going on internally right now?
So we've got 3 tracks going on.
Okay.
We have the live track, which is working on the next archetype, which is the Myrmidon, as well as the Ballista, which is going into Siege Perilous.
Okay.
And then we have the second track, which is the world building tool.
Yep. Kingdom and campaign building tool.
We're trying to use the same tool for both. That little mock-up that we'd shown almost a year ago now.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see it actually come to life.
Right, absolutely. That's really it's interesting too as we're getting into it now, finding some things that we thought were going to be hard that are actually quite easy, and some things that we thought were going to be easy are turning out to be quite hard. So we need to, at some point soon, do a refresh to the kingdom building and world building tool FAQ because it is woefully out of date. And then third track.
Third track is the big deliverable that we've been pushing towards, which is the big world is what we're calling it.
Yeah, doing a giant world. So I would call it Big World, but there was a engine called Big World, so we really can't call it that. But it's the idea of being able to actually log into a world built with that tool and run seamlessly zone to zone to zone to zone to zone for minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes.
And there's things in there.
Eventually being passed off from one server to another server, which allows us to make our worlds effectively infinite size.
Yes.
They won't actually be infinite size, but effectively.
Because you would never see anybody.
No, we could make them that way, though, if we wanted
Yes, that would be ridiculous.
So let's talk about some people specifically.
Okay.
So what is John O'Neill working on right now? Environment artist, environment lead, John O'Neill.
The environment team is hard at work at making these parcels actually work.
Yep.
Right. We've been talking about parcels for a year now. We had an idea, but once you actually get in there and say, I'm going to put this thing here and this thing here, it illuminates so much. You're like, oh, we're doing it completely wrong. Right. So you have to make all of those changes and you're like, oh, this is what you get to use.
Cool.
So it's cool seeing the parcels come to life.
What are the animators working on? Doggett and Cook. What are they working on?
So the animators are primarily working on the Myrmidon, which is our live deliverable. They've also been working on some of the root motion stuff with the rest of the combat group.
Yeah, and how's that feel?
The root motion is starting to feel really good.
Yeah, it's really coming along.
That
was the leading question, by the way, because I knew the answer. I wasn't going to ask you a question, the answer which is, it feels terrible.
It feels awful.
No, it's really coming along well. You guys are going to be very happy about the progress we've made in that area.
Yeah, I mean, we were never able to do it how those of us who played lots of action games felt. Right, it's just the technology was causing problems. We had bugs, we had frame rate issues, we had async loading stuff that wasn't working right, and it created this mountain of unplayability. Right, so we did a bunch of stuff to make it playable, but now that we've cleaned that out and we're putting this root motion stuff back into the characters, they just feel like action characters now, which is starting to be awesome.
Yep. There's another one that we're working on. You just hit upon, which is performance. So I know that Eric and the animators to some degree are also working now on the LOD characters. So that basically having to restructure the way we do colorization and the way we organize all the art assets to try and optimize it so we can get more characters on screen. In the live stream, we did a test where we showed 200 or something characters running around at 30 frames a second. That was pretty cool. But now we need to actually adapt the art to where it'll work with that new system. Okay, who else have we got here that's working on something interesting? Mike McShaftery is working on a updated ops tool for us, which you guys probably don't care about, but we're all very excited for internally because it's going to make it much easier for us to bring up the servers and take down the servers for the testing and eventually for the live environment.
Correct. And it makes Gordon's life a lot easier.
It does. Oh, yeah. Why are we investing in that?
I don't know.
When you put it that way, it seems like a mistake.
Well, since he put it on a phone, I mean, now that means that Gordon can do it from... I mean, Gordon was hauling his laptop everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
And family events, his birthday, he's running play tests in the background. Now at least he can do it from a phone.
Yes, that's right. And I know that Greco is now just jumping into concepting for a whole bunch of buildings and stuff like that. All that stuff that we got to build.
Yep. Greco's also been doing the concepting for harvesting.
Oh, that's true. Yep.
Right, because
I forgot about the harvesting stuff.
As soon as
going on there too.
As soon as Mr. Borland gets back from the Grand Canyon, then we'll start working on the harvesting
Yeah,
system.
we need to cancel vacations. No longer allowed at Artcraft.
It's terrible. It's like, let's go on this system. And you're like, oh, that engineer's going on vacation.
This is what happens when you're building an MMO with like a couple dozen people. Is one person is gone for vacation and everybody feels it. That's the downside. But hey.
Hey, that's where we live.
That's what we signed up for. So,
Right.
Okay.
People take vacations.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we just can't
drives me crazy, but whatever.
Gordon wants to chain everybody to the desk.
Yeah.
And you can't do that.
I want to do that, but I don't want to pay for the chains. Chains and locks, that sounds very expensive. So we just lock the door to the office. I think that would be better.
All right, so Todd, what do you have going on?
Well, I've been spending a lot of time looking at the bundles and the pricing and all that kind of stuff. We're going to retire some of the bundles soon. So if you are interested in grabbing a Stronghold, you might want to do it now because those prices are going to, once you break into the components, those prices are going to go up. And I'm prepping for a trip to Europe. I'm going to go to Gamescom. Gordon and I are both going to go in August. So that should be pretty cool. Actually, I kind of hate travel. And I hate game conferences because it's a hell of a lot of work.
And you're going to get sick.
Outside of that part, I think that should be pretty cool.
All those game conferences, everybody gets sick. Raph comes here right after coming to one
and
gets
I'm
everybody
wear a gas
sick.
mask. That was my plan. So anyway, so if you see a guy walking around in a gas mask, it might be me. Who's to say? All right, anything else, or is that it for this month?
That's it.
All right, thank you guys as always for watching, and hit us with some questions. So next time we have some good questions to answer. So I think that's it.
See you in the Hunger Dome.
All right, see you soon.